Okay, people. So, welcome again to another episode of the Day-to-Day podcast. Today, we are actually gonna go on a very random path. Although we discussed
More
like
random than usual.
more random
More
than
random than
usual.
usual.
Of course. Yeah. So usually we have several topics that we are fixated on or like we prepare for. But today we thought we are gonna go to Reddit trending tab, and then we're just gonna go and discuss on whatever is coming up on the trending. Yeah.
Wow, okay. It's very risky.
Very risky.
Hope we
Very
don't get
risky.
any don't get any controversial topics. Yeah, we'll just try to avoid
Yeah.
them if possible.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Let's see what happens.
So I'm gonna go into sharing the screen. Okay.
Trending today. Wow, okay.
So the first thing up here is GME. This is technically a little delayed. As like, have you been following the GameStop was it? The
Yeah, the time where they sort of was started buying GameStop stocks, and
yeah,
the
yeah,
guys
yeah.
who had shorted the stocks got screwed,
Yeah,
right? That one.
yeah. This is it.
Okay.
This is just, I think they're just like welcoming people, and like the group itself, which did this, is the Wall Street Bets Reddit group. So these are the people responsible for the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. So they're just putting a
Right.
welcome post, and I think it's getting like trended right now. Not
Okay.
specifically news. Let's see here. It says. Is this anything we can talk about? New York.
New York, that's someday. Which was a defined lockdown laws padlocked by okay. So you did you see the post the video today of the policeman jumping on the guy?
Oh,
Oh man, that was like there were like so many memes, and it was a news report, right? It's like it's saying that it's a hit on social media or something.
yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah,
God. This guy, he was trying like wrestling moves on the street.
exactly right. That was like, oh man.
Well,
Anyway, that was a fun video to watch.
yeah.
So do you know what has happened in that? I have no idea what caused that, what led to that set of events. But I don't know.
So
I just
what?
saw the video of the guy jumping on the thing,
Yeah.
and that's all.
So regarding like what happened there was apparently there was a police chief or like someone senior to him was there, and this truck or this lorry or whatever has apparently kind of hit this guy while going forward. So
Oh right,
and
okay,
apparently he
okay.
has been, I think, injured and taken to the hospital like a police guy. So this the like
Oh,
like it's the senior of the person who's getting attention, someone like this. So this guy has apparently taken it to his like uh he wanted to, I don't know, he wanted to get some credit or whatever, that this is something like this. So he apparently caught this bugger and then started beating the shit out of this guy on the street. So
oh shit! Oh my god! Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
that's what
But
that's what the news said. That's what the news said. So they showed
oh right,
like the
but you
video
get
of someone getting
uh-huh.
hit, and then this
Right.
guy, yeah, now he doesn't
Wow.
have a
Okay.
job.
Wow, dude, that's the stuff that happens in Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Interesting. What was what was the next topic that we had?
This issue, I think this is pretty hot topic, like regarding Amazon and their, like, the issues with unions with Amazon.
Right.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
pretty hot topic. Um,
I
let's
mean,
let's open this, shall we? So from what I understand, Amazon has it's I mean, they have had a historical record of not treating their employees well.
yeah,
And
I've heard about the whole keeping a bottle next to you to pee and all that, right?
yeah, and they're not getting paid well. The working conditions are not good. And
Yeah.
apparently, recently there was this issue where the delivery vehicles were installed with cameras, where they have to, like, at the beginning of the driving session they have to show their face and recognize themselves, and at the end of the session they again have to, or like in the middle also they take, like it's like taking screenshots while working, but if they are taking
Okay.
like the video to confirm it's the same driver, or like the driver is not sleeping as well. So if it's sleeping they get reported, and all these issues come for the driver. I mean,
Okay.
technically, it's how do you say, from Amazon's point of view, I think it's okay in a way, but it goes into a lot of privacy issues as well, because
Mm-hmm.
apparently the other side is some people have, drivers have apparently taken the vehicle and given it to someone else to drive, so they pay the other guy a lower fee, and they stay at home or they do another job. So these kind of shit
Oh,
has been
right, right,
happening
right, right,
with Amazon. So
right, right, right,
probably
right,
this
right.
was
No,
one
so
of the
I've
reasons.
heard of that as well.
Yeah,
I've
probably
heard of
this
that as
was the
well.
reason that they installed this. But right now this news is about like the union drive, like or whatever, like the Amazon employees are trying to create their union, but Amazon itself is trying to, I don't know, give benefits to people who are against unions or something like this.
Wow. Okay.
So let
This
me
base
get,
was told like Amazon exists to hit back at critics amid historic union drive. Okay. Wow.
so yeah, they're giving incentives to people who are talking against unionization. I mean, in general, it's the US, and they don't have a good track record of good working conditions as far as I remember.
They don't. I mean, they call themselves the developed country, but they have like very bad track record of treat how they treat their employees. I mean, Sri Lanka, in one sense, is actually pretty good.
Yeah, comparatively, yes.
Uh, yeah, it is quite good. I mean,
Yeah,
you if they were treated like that, if someone came here and treated the employees like that, they'll just riot, right? They don't give a shit. They'll
mm.
probably burn the factory down,
Yeah.
and they won't give two shits,
I mean,
right? And I mean,
I
what?
mean, yeah, we were not aggressive as in India. I'd say there was a lot of issues going on in India. Couple of
Oh
days,
yeah,
couple
with
of
Apple, right?
yeah, with Apple. Yeah,
With the, yeah.
probably there's a lot of story behind that as well. Maybe external parties involved. So who knows? But
So
yeah.
according to what I heard, for the Apple thing, it wasn't actually Apple's fault per se. So apparently the guys, the contract manufacturer, I can't remember it was who it was. It was Winston or someone. Uh, uh, that so they had promised like a set salary, and they had not delivered on their promises. So that's why the
Mm.
the employees got pissed off and started rioting.
And Apple is not taking any
So
responsibilities there as well. They're just like third
yeah, yeah,
party.
yeah. I
No,
mean,
not our responsibility.
so that they, I mean, but I think what they did was they sort of threatened to remove that certain supplier from the supply chain. But I think after about a week, people forget about it, right? I mean, they have bigger things to worry about. So they
Mm.
just, it's just in the back of their minds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
U.S. Army base poisoning drinking water of 500,000 Japanese.
let's
Okay,
check that out, shall
that's
we?
interesting. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, this is new. I haven't heard about this before. So what does it say? Uh, US Air Force Kadena base in Japan, Okinawa Prefecture is reportedly contaminating the island's drinking water. Okay, so it's the base. The Air Force base is
Hmm.
contaminating. So probably fuel like being thrown out, maybe. I don't know.
Could be something. So yeah, it says PFA is highly resistant to. Yeah, what's PFA? Yeah, okay. It's allegedly as per uses per and poly substances, chemical linked to cancers of kidneys, blah blah blah, all that. Okay, wow. I mean, dude, Americans can't control their. I mean, in general, like look at how, I mean, they ship their garbage to other countries, right,
Mm.
to get recycled. I mean, this is
And
just this
it's
is just
and also
this is
like with
just
the
I don't know.
military within the country, it's pretty much glorified the military, but there have been a lot of
Hmm,
issues of the military stationed in other countries. Recently, or
exactly.
like a
Yeah.
few months ago, maybe sometime in last year, I saw news in Korea, South Korea, something that happened. Yeah, yeah, in 4th of July last year. So apparently in 4th of July last year, these guys, like the military people, they've come out, like they live in a, like a, I think in a specific area. So these guys have come out
Hmm.
and thrown out fireworks everywhere on the streets, everywhere, and like going drunk all over the place.
Oh,
A lot of not violence, but they were not behaving well uh,
right.
in South Korea, and there was a lot of complaining and a lot of controversy regarding that as well within the country for some period.
So yeah, even here, even in Okinawa, that's like it's a pretty old base in Okinawa, right? The people have been complaining for a long time, but the Japanese really can't do anything about it because the Japanese government can't really do anything about it because I mean, US helps them out with the whole
Mm.
South Korea, sorry, North Korea situation, right? I mean, there's a threat there. Um, but that those guys have been really quiet actually. North
Mm.
Korea, there hasn't been much news from North Korea, right? Probably because of COVID. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Not a lot of news. Saw a few memes about North Korea and COVID. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Japanese really can't do anything about it. So they just the biggest. I mean, they are they don't have necessarily armies or this like it's
Mm.
called a JDF, right? Japanese Defense Force.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
But the nationalists, the Japanese nationalists, there's a huge nationalist movement in Japan that's sort of pushing for this to go away, the US base in Okinawa. I
Mm.
mean, this is probably just another
Yeah.
nationalist.
And in the article, they're not explaining like what is the reason as well as far as I saw. It's just say this is the these type of particles. So they're explaining more scientifically, but they don't explain like what is the exact I don't know chemical or reason behind the
Mm-hmm.
pollution. So yeah,
Right.
hopefully they clean it up
Oh,
soon.
yeah. Wow. Okay. What is that? Is that a meme?
Ah, right. Not so good. I mean,
Okay. Maybe might get flagged for that.
yeah, I mean, controversial stuff like these guys are. I mean, it's definitely not appropriate, and probably a lot of hate comments on the video as well.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
Yeah.
It is certain doesn't
Not
okay.
news. What is this?
Is there a filter that we can do like just news? Can we do
We
like a
can
filter?
we can go to just world news, our world news, and then check. I mean, if we are going for the world news,
Okay, let's see what's there.
and then yeah, hot news. Yes. Ah, yes,
No
this
COVID
was
there.
like the yeah, no COVID deaths was like from London.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
6 months. Wow.
yeah. After
Great.
6 months, yeah, like today, like they didn't have any deaths today.
Wow. Not to
Um,
engage in politics after companies raise concerns about forced labor in Xinjiang. Okay. What
Let
is
me
that
check.
thing?
Let's
Foreign
check
law.
it out and see.
Oh, it wants foreign. Okay. Oh no, just
Chinese.
the Swedish S&M and other foreign brands should not make rash moves or step into politics after the companies concerned about forced labor in India, sparking furious online backlash and boycotts.
I
Ah
mean,
man.
it's uh, it's
The-
pretty hard for foreign companies to work in China. I mean, into the future it'll be much more harder because
yeah,
the general consensus of human rights do not apply in China. So
it doesn't actually. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, the especially I don't know how H&M or like how their divisions. It's probably production, right? It's mostly like
yeah. It's
manufacturing
probably the
manufacturing
manufacturing.
there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So in general, Sweden has a lot of commitments, or they look into a lot of how like how their labor is, is how their labor within like whatever the product they are like creating, the impact to the
Mm-hmm.
environment plus the impact to people or like the society. They always measure these things within their companies. So for them, it's
Mm-hmm.
a negative measure if there's pollution. If it's a negative measure for their company, if like human rights or like employee rights are being violated. So
Right, right,
probably
right,
the
right.
reason they talked against it. And
Wow. So
there's a lot
I
of
mean,
brands. Yeah.
that's actually, I mean, that's good. I mean, like China needs to be smart about this, right? I mean,
Mm,
the sort of running on this whole. I mean, the what's bringing the income is the foreign manufacturers coming
mm,
there setting up shop, right? There's not a lot of, except for maybe mobile phones, right? And drones. I mean, DJI. So there are a few big companies. Right? So
mm,
DJI, there's Oppo, Huawei is banned right now. But guys like Vivo, uh, Xiaomi, and all that. You have the phone brands, but you don't really have any other big brands, right? I
mm.
mean, that's like sort of China
Yeah,
centric
yeah.
brands. China, I mean, China home, the homegrown brands for China, right? So, although the production that's being done is done in China, it's foreign companies who's doing it, right?
Mm,
And see, when COVID first, I mean, took effect, all the supply chains were affected in China, right? And
mm.
that was sort of an eye opener for most of the companies to sort of diversify their production, right? And move out to maybe countries like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
India, Vietnam, Thailand, right?
I mean, so far, as far
So,
as I know,
and
it's
this is just going to
yeah,
push them a bit more, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
This
just
is just
like
going to push
here,
them,
what they
yeah.
mention is it's just they have like their cotton sourcing. The comments were against
Mm,
like cotton sourcing and how they do it, and like suspected human rights abuse. And what China mentioned is don't make it political, but this is technically not political. It's their product
mm,
and how it's produced. So the companies have a right or like have a say in how they consume it.
mm,
So like I said, China should be, how to say, very careful about how to deal with this, or they will lose future
mm.
income, most probably.
Most probably. So I doubt people will leave China, right? You're right,
Not
Mona.
now, but
People won't leave China right now. They'll save on, because I mean the supply chains, you can't really beat the supply chains in China, right?
yeah.
It's probably impossible. They probably have one of the best, not the one of the best, the best supply chains to produce anything, right?
Mm,
But like you said, probably future demand will reduce,
mm.
right? Future demand will reduce because they'll think twice of going to China, because
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're hit by sanctions, what are you gonna do?
yeah.
I mean, that's a very reasonable risk to consider when
Yeah.
going into China, right?
Now, like recently,
So,
Apple they are trying to diversify their production locations more. Recently, they've moved it to India, but of course, problems there. But they
mhm,
are trying
mhm.
to lower their dependency with China, but not it's not that easy to do.
Yeah, it's not that easy. So they tried it once in Brazil, trying to move some of the production to Brazil, but they sort of like Shenzhen in China, they want to have a place in Brazil. I can't remember the name of the place, but it didn't really work out because it was just
Mm.
I mean, you can't really compete with the supply chains of China, right?
Hmm.
It's next level. Uh, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
we'll see what the
let's see what
companies
happens. Let's
do.
see what happens.
Yeah. So next we have this: New
New
Zealand won't
Zealand.
open for
Oh,
tourism before reaching herd immunity through vaccination. And for them, it's I guess it's an option that they can afford. I
yeah,
guess
they can afford.
how's the
So,
I'm not that sure about how their like economies. What do they have like?
so their main economy is export, right? Dairy
Mm.
and certain things like that, right? And tourism. If I'm
Yeah.
not,
So
you just can probably Google that. I think you have to
mm,
get it out. I guess should be
yeah,
able to get it.
let's check.
Just maybe. I just think because I mean, so not just dairy products. It's I think they have a stake in wool as well. Like wool, the wool from sheep. There are apparently more sheep in New Zealand than people living there.
Let's see.
Yeah, see what Wikipedia says. No, that's probably not the best place to look, but
Let's
yeah.
go to this. Yeah. I mean, they definitely have like a very, I don't know, the country is very beautiful, so they have a good tourism industry. I don't know how big it is though.
Hmm.
So yeah, here.
Oh, it is pretty big. It is pretty big actually. It's quite big. I mean, it's not like a massively big country, but it's definitely bigger than Sri Lanka
Hmm.
at least few times. So you can scroll down there. Let's see.
Mm, top income rate. No, 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 nothing much here.
Maybe top exports. Just
Ah,
Google
yeah.
top exports. You know, yeah. Because they have to be surviving on those, right? I mean, they don't really have. You can't. Tourism is not an option
I
for
think
them.
they probably have some metals.
Oh, the mining as well. Okay,
I think so.
interesting.
Let's check. I'm not sure. Australia definitely exports a lot of.
Yeah, Australia has
No,
a lot of
no,
top.
not
It's
anything.
dairy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's dairy,
of
meat,
course.
wood, fruits, nuts, cereal. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
beverages, vinegar, fish. Wow. Okay, yeah, fish is actually pretty big. Yes, sir.
So basically, food. I mean, except wood and
Yeah,
optical,
machinery.
technical, medical
Dude,
apparatus,
how much
machines.
is? Yeah, so machinery including
So
computers.
28%, 30, almost 30% of is by dairy. Dairy, eggs, and
Yeah.
honey.
So next is meat. Next is meat, right?
Meat. I mean, dairy, meat. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah,
It's sort of given, right? And wood
yeah.
as well, yeah. So they have like all these forests and all that. So they have
But they
sustainable
probably
forests, I
have
think.
like a very controlled, like they probably control it very well, I guess.
Yeah, they do, they do. So I mean, they can't, right? Because what the selling point for the tourists it's a really nice country. I mean,
Mm.
it's really beautiful, and the nature is preserved very well. And the natural beauty is preserved very well. So I mean, they can't really afford to go
Cut
and
down
screw
on
that
the
up, right? They
trees.
have to
Yeah.
cut down all the trees. So
Um. Then what is this? This limit
this
suicide rates.
means always
I
suicide.
mean, Japan and suicide rates. This was happening quite a time, as far as I can remember. I mean, their
Right.
society, the way it's created, or like if it's going in general, they have more people living alone.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I people don't really have time. I don't know. Like some people, they don't really get time to get married. They
Their
don't have
working culture is
children.
very very strict.
Very
I'd
brutal.
say
Yeah.
toxic in a way, but
Uh-huh.
it's just because they don't have the even when it comes to working time. I mean, in Sri Lanka also there it's there, right? Like in some companies, when people say okay, work finishes at 6, it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
suggested at 6, but you can stay until whenever you want, and you get benefits based on how much you overcommit, not how much you commit, how much you overcommit. And this is how
Right.
it's in Japan. Like I recently watched some podcasts as well, especially in, for an example, like the anime industry, like the animators, they have a very very rough life. They don't get paid a lot. Like from what I heard, if you draw a panel is like it's a still image for the
Uh-huh.
animation, one still, they get paid two
Uh-huh.
dollars per still.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have to draw a lot of them to get a proper two
Oh
dollars
yeah. So the one frame is so wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Dude. So that takes
they have
some time, right, to draw one
they have
panel.
to draw a lot. They have to draw a lot, and like drawing a frame, it takes time. And
I mean, mhm.
they say that like there's a number of panels that they like. It let's say to make, I don't know, 100 panels, it might take 1 day or 2 days, depending on how they do it. Some people do it like the veterans, they do it faster, they say, but not everyone.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, suicide
$2 a
rates.
panel. So yeah, this is depressing, man. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yes, this thing. It's finally done.
Oh yeah, I saw this, man. Dude, the memes this generated. Oh my god. So apparently, did you see there was apparently I think it was in China. There was this company that owns this ship is called Evergreen.
Yes, yes.
Uh, there was a truck that had sort of skidded off and blocked the road, and the container said Evergreen, and
Agree.
it's like what kind of
Did,
university is it?
did
So I
you did,
mean,
did you see the reasoning behind what happened? Like I checked a few articles, I
no,
checked
no.
on
I
Reddit and
what
Twitter
why
and
what
all.
had happened? What had happened?
So apparently, it's what they say is it's not the fault of the crew of the ship.
Uh,
There has been a fault, like the how do you say the ship had some fault and stopped, and
uh-huh,
the ship had steered away to the side because of the wind. But the responsibility of informing the ship about, like, let's say weather changes in weather, or like sudden changes in weather, is the responsibility lies within a pilot, someone called a pilot who is from Egypt.
yeah, Egypt. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they bring out a pilot. So a pilot is someone who sort of gets on the ship on a
Mm,
temporary basis, maybe be it a few hours, to
yeah.
help guide the ship in a throughout a tricky place in like a
Yeah. Yeah.
harbor or a canal or whatever, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I was talking to one of my friends. He's actually a sailor himself.
Mm,
So what he said was the Egyptian
yes. Yes. Yes.
uh, pilots are very, I mean, they're very demanding. They have like a mafia apparently at that in that sort of Suez Canal. It's apparently
Mm.
called the Marlboro Canal because if you don't give
Yeah.
the guys who come on board the what do you call those cigarette cartons,
Yeah.
they don't like do a good job, and they just scream at you and do all that shit, right?
Yeah. 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 I saw
So
it
it's
like in a
just it's a bit messed up.
I saw it in, I think, a tweet as well, that they need to give cartons of cigarettes for these guys to for them to
Yeah,
get
yeah. So
do a
I
good
mean,
job.
it's a known thing, right? It's a known thing. It's not
Yeah,
it's probably like a public
but
secret now.
what the news said, like not the news, like what the tweet said was, like, some people who replied to the tweets, they said was like, this guy's probably gonna get killed. Because like it's the responsibility of the Egyptian, like, authorities, right? Like whoever goes on board,
Yeah,
and this guy has given the okay to go ahead after knowing about the weather.
right.
So apparently, it's the responsibility of this pilot. So
It's
probably he's gonna
of the
get in,
pilot. Yeah.
get in trouble.
Oh, it's gonna get in
And
trouble.
I saw in news saying that apparently it was like around 68 or something million loss due to this delay.
Billion,
USD, yeah,
billion
billions.
per day. That's billion, not six. I think it was 9.6 billion per dollars
Okay,
per day
okay,
or something.
billion. Yeah, 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 okay, billions.
Uh,
Yeah, so it's
somehow it was a billion. It's like massive amount.
yeah, now it was there for 6 days apparently. Like, yeah, after the 6th day, they and these guys were trying to dig it out with like one excavator. Oh my.
Oh my god, that was so lame, man. I mean, like that's probably there was. I mean, you can't really blame them. I mean, if they could have got something there, they would have. I'm guessing. Um, Probably there is a limit to the size of the vehicle that can go in that small strip of
Maybe,
land as well. I mean,
maybe.
I'll probably give
But
them a benefit of the doubt.
yep, but from what I heard, like the lower part of the ship, apparently it goes down like huge, like 30 feet. This is what I heard, like below water.
Oh,
So it goes into the
wow,
sand, like hits into the sand like the same amount. So if you dig, you need to dig that much to get the ship out,
wow.
because it has
Okay.
apparently it has 50 feet above water and 30 feet below water. This is what I saw. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but that's what
Right, right.
people said.
But that's one massive ship. Right? It's apparently bigger than the uh, what do you call the Empire State Building.
Um, I mean,
Is that bigger in the
it's a
sense like
yeah,
when the length and
it's
the
a
height
ship
of the
carrying
building?
containers, and like I don't know how many lines of them. It was like, oh my god.
So apparently, 13,000 or 15,000 TEU. That's 20 foot equivalent.
Mm.
That's 20,000 containers. Sorry, 15,000 containers.
15,000 containers. Oh my god.
That's imagine that, man.
I mean, like you notice how, I mean, you notice the size of the ship. ideally when you see the excavator close to it, like have you seen the big
Yeah,
photo?
yeah.
Yeah, then you notice like how
Yeah, oh,
big it is.
dude, the references, I'm like, wow, that's massive. It's just massive. Okay,
Next we
I'll
have
move on.
I mean, it's again like I think
Oh, dude,
it's much known, right? Like the dog crossing. It's then
so
also.
dude, like I'm very against like buying all these purebred
Mm,
dogs. Like there are enough and more stray dogs. You can just
yes.
adopt one, right? It's just I mean, these dogs, if you, so there was a comparison. I mean, you've probably seen this as well. There was a comparison done of like dogs, just photos, right? Someone had taken, done like a compilation of photos of certain dog species,
Mm,
probably about 100 years back, and what they
uh-huh.
look like now, right? And you can tell that the features have been so over exaggerated,
Mm,
right? To a point where it's just us playing God on the dogs, right?
yeah.
We are just like,
Like,
do I mean, that's just cruel, man. Like,
yeah, it's very
just
unfortunate for the animals because
yeah.
like I think recently I saw this video shared by can't remember like some activist or someone related to in Sri Lanka. They have these dog farms where they keep these
Mm,
animals locked like maybe pure breed dogs. They keep all of them
mm-hmm,
like in separate cells. They keep separate cages. They keep them locked. And whenever they
mm-hmm.
want to mix, they just pick and choose and mix dogs and then put them back to the cages. Ah,
Oh shit,
and apparently they
poor
don't
dogs.
I mean it's not that easy to shut these people down because they probably have some sort of connections and get things done.
Sad. Anyway,
And then most of these dogs, especially these smaller dogs that they make, I'm not sure how they breed them to create these smaller puppy like dogs, like very small, like I don't know, the height is probably like 5
oh,
to
the
10 5
Chihuahua
to
kind type
yeah 5
dogs.
five
Oh
to 10
god, I
inches.
hate those shit.
Yeah, these dogs need very special care, and it's not like you can't
Right.
keep them on normal food. You need to give them special care, and you need to have like special medicine for them, and they get sick very quickly. And I mean, in Sri Lanka they
Oh,
don't have any rules
that's
as well for the animals, like for animal
right. So
safety and
there was you saw that news, right? Where I think it was American pit bulls, right? They had left three pit bulls locked up for a week, and two of the pit bulls had eaten the other one.
no, I didn't see this.
Yeah, so that's just messed up, man. So I think it was somewhere in Mount Lebanon, I think. So this guy who had owned got the dogs, had locked the three dogs inside, right, for a week
Mm.
without food, without water, right, and
Oh.
the dogs got hungry and sort of killed the other one, and sort of that's just messed up, man. I mean, who the hell? Like, I mean, if you buy a dog, it's sort of like a responsibility as well,
Yeah,
right? To
yeah,
some
it's
extent, um, you need to. I mean, you need to take care of it. You need to give it the proper
yeah,
care. It's not
it's
just don't get a dog, and most people just get a dog just for the sake that it's cute and all that. But I mean,
it's
it's not.
essentially
It's
taking
not
care of a
that easy,
child.
right?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
So
So
like here, what they say is like the breeds, like as French bulldog, pugs, and boxers, they're going blind because they can't close their eyes now.
yeah, yeah. It's just
Poor creatures.
messed up,
But
man.
like for an example, I think definitely like these specific breeding should definitely stop. But apart from that, I think there should be some concern. Like there are like regulations or like certain rules written about taking care of animals in countries. Some countries, like in Sweden, for an example, you can't keep an animal at home
Uh-huh.
without anyone to take care. But it's not the same
Uh-huh.
case. It's not the same case in Sri Lanka or like in most other countries. People just take dogs, put them in cages, and then just leave.
Right. Right. Wow. That sucks.
Mm, Mexico, COVID news, COVID news. Transactions. Ah. Oh my
Anything
God.
interesting?
I mean, regarding president of the Philippines. Well,
The
it's
female house of sacrifice. What? Oh my god, dude! What the hell?
well, this guy has the reputation of being very, I don't know how can I display like explain this guy. He's very
He's flagged
over the
for
top. He's
misbehavior
over
with
the
the
top. He's over the top in like
He's over the
everything.
top.
Yeah, in a very bad way. And he's not afraid to express it also. That's the thing. No one likes
This is
this
the
guy apparently.
this is the guy who said this is the guy who said he shoot all the drugs
Yeah,
people with drugs, right?
yeah.
Drug possession. Wow. Okay. Anyway, isn't there any happy news then? I mean, it's all just like sad stuff. People getting roped and all that.
I
It's just
mean,
messed up.
technically, see news like
Okay.
from what I know, I mean, definitely in Sri Lanka, controversial or like negative news sells in Sri
Yeah,
Lanka more.
yeah. I mean, this is
It's not
not.
good.
I mean, not just in Sri Lanka, man. It was everywhere. It's probably like that. Like,
Yeah,
no one really. If there's
it's it's
something,
it's again like about
something
Amazon.
neutral won't sell. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
neutral won't sell. It has to be like so. Naturally, drama tends to sell more, but I mean, like extremely happy news also is good, but like drama tends to sell for some reason. I don't know why that is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, good
Sounds
news.
okay.
Oil
See.
prices dip after ship stuck is partially freed.
Uh, so I think that was probably affecting the European countries, right?
Yeah,
Mainly because that way
the
was blocked.
path. Mm.
Oh shit, dude, Myanmar, that's just messed up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's happening there?
So this is just 4 hours ago. I mean, they had a huge issue yesterday, right? A lot of people died, like
Okay,
100,
that killed
more
like
than 100 people, I think.
wow, okay.
Yeah, they were just killed like uh, random citizens. So there's probably a protest against it. Yeah, more protesters killed. Okay, as 5 more protesters killed. Myanmar security force killed at least 5 protesters on Monday. Okay, okay, the video. So they just, I mean, like it's just the from what I saw in most comments, what people say is Myanmar doesn't offer anything of value to most countries who usually take action against these kind of problems. So that's why no one is getting involved
Hmm,
in this,
hmm,
unfortunately.
hmm,
So
hmm.
that's one of the problems there. Like they don't,
That's
no one
from
has a
there.
benefit. Yeah,
If there was oil,
yeah, exactly.
if there's oil there, like America would be like all over it. I'm like,
Mm,
we are coming to free you guys and all
yeah,
that bullshit,
freedom for freedom,
right?
freedom for everyone.
Freedom for everyone, democracy, yeah, baby.
those memes are the
Anyway,
best.
oh god, dude.
uh,
America and the oil means I mean,
Nike
my career has
Adidas
taken off.
taken stores in China. Why?
Oh, what is that? You mean like app stores in the sense like
App
the
stores,
apps are
Google.
taken off?
Yeah,
Oh,
why? Google,
okay.
Apple, China. Nike has taken down. Mm-mm. It's the
Scooter
same
ban
issue.
says controversy. Oh, right.
It's the
The
same thing.
Xinjiang issue, right? About
Yeah, yeah.
Uyghur autonomous region. Yeah.
Cotton production there.
Uh,
Okay, so the previous article we read didn't mention the Uyghur, like the name, but it's the same. It's the same area, the region, Xinjiang.
yeah. Xinjiang.
So they okay. Wow, these. But this is again, they're not that they shouldn't make an enemy out of the global market. But
Uh, I don't know. Let's see what happens to China.
yeah, Biden
Uh,
chief says US won't be lifting
okay,
tariffs on China.
boring
The,
stuff in some sort of driver.
we
Okay.
can probably search for good news if you want. Like there's probably like there's
Okay,
a
please. So Good
Yes.
news? Is there like a good news thread?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a good news thread.
Oh, wow, finally. But the problem is the Suez Canal thing is probably on top. Okay, no. Prosecute drug possession. Oh, yeah, I saw this one, man. I saw the. I mean, that's really good, right?
What is this
If
about?
if
I did,
they're
like.
considering all these like low level prostitution, drug possession, and other low level offenses as public health issues, not crime,
Okay. Okay.
right? So I mean, they need to be solved and not really. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't really make sense to uh, I- like you have to if you're drugs if you want to stop drugs you have to kill the big fish,
Hmm.
right? There's no way to stop it otherwise,
Yeah.
right? I mean
Or,
that's just arresting the bloody small bucket is not gonna do anything, right?
all legalize it
So
and put tax over it.
yeah, yeah that'll stop it overnight. Probably not
Yeah.
stop it, but at least control it, right?
Yeah. It's just
uh,
they like whatever's happening off the records will come into records, and then you will see the
right,
parts at the end. That's the only thing.
yeah, that's the only thing.
Because I remember like Turkey
So yeah.
also passed a law saying they'll be legalizing weed
Oh,
in Turkey.
I want to see if they legalize weed here
The,
in Sri
I mean,
Lanka.
it's we
Dude,
don't.
technically, so currently, as far as I know, if you are an Ayurvedic doctor, you can get a license to grow weed
Okay.
for for Ayurvedic purposes. But so
Okay.
I mean that's about it. And you can get a license, right? So I think there were
Mm,
few people who had the whole weed license to consume it for medical purposes.
okay.
There is sort of a law like that in Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it can be
But
brought in a
it's not.
controlled way. It's like what Turkey is doing is they have specific sets of farms that they're building. Like there's probably going to be illegal stuff as well, but they're going
Right.
to have like controlled set of farms where they will be putting people and getting work done, like through probably government or whatever.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. US is
Okay.
actually doing really good with their vaccination program. This is about Florida now.
Oh. Oh. Okay. That's something.
Because I think Biden put out a notice like they had a target within 100 days and they I think passed that target within 35 days. So he increased the target I think doubled or a little bit more than that within 100 days. The number of people
Wow.
vaccinated
Okay.
within the US.
That's not too bad. Hmm. You can do
Uh,
something other than falling off the stairs in while on his way to an airplane.
these are more like personal news today.
Yeah, yeah, like personal things. Okay. There's nothing about the whole chip shortage, right? There's like a massive
You can go to technology.
um yeah, probably look at technology. It should be there. I was reading up on it like on Friday. Uh, there's like a massive shortage in like my like circuits and all that sort of like silicon chips, mainly
Hmm.
silicon, right? Massive shortage, mainly because of few reasons. So one thing is there are supply chain issues because of COVID,
Hmm.
and there are like massive. Okay, so uh, Apple is hogging a set right for
Hmm.
their launches of the phone. Samsung is hogging a set for the launch of the new phone. So all the Chinese phone manufacturers. In addition, there's PS5 and Xbox,
Hmm.
right, coming out, and what was the other one? I can't remember the one.
Like graphics cards.
Oh yeah, the graphics card, yes. Nvidia
Yeah.
and and
Yeah,
of course
graphics
their processors as well,
like the
right?
graphics card. I like again, this is the media that I consume. I see like graphics cards being worst hit. Like they don't have enough to sell. Like it's not on the market. What happens is they put
Yeah,
out a
it's
new
not on the
card.
market because and all the crypto miners
Yeah,
get to it, right? That's what
that
happens.
also.
That's what mainly at least for graphics cards. So I
Yeah.
think Nvidia had tried to introduce a like a card that only works for uh, crypto mining or something, or just
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
something that just works for gaming or something like that. But apparently that was bypass in like a few days or something.
Yeah. So
Uh,
like I don't know like CSMC is TSMC and Samsung. TSMC, Samsung, and Intel are the ones
hmm.
producing the chips, right? As far as I know, they are the biggest producers right now. Intel, TSMC,
uh,
and Samsung.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Samsung. Yeah, mainly
There are smaller
those three.
companies in China, but
But dude, no, China. So TSMC is like massive. So there was a so TSMC. I think probably recently. Their valuation is larger than all of Samsung.
wow.
All of Samsung. That's not just that chip foundry. All of Samsung, right? So that's how big TSMC is. So they have about 50% market share.
If these guys
TSMC.
shut down by any chance, it's done for the world.
It's done. Yeah, we're gonna run out of chips.
Like I saw like an art, like it's like again on Reddit, I think some kind of people discussing why China is not going into, or like trying to force themselves onto Taiwan, or like
Mm.
trying to put restrictions to Taiwan, or like I don't know, wage war against Taiwan in general. Why they're not taking it by
Mm.
force is because if they try to take it by force, they will destroy the economy, and there's no point of taking Taiwan after that. So that's why
Yeah.
they are trying to take it
So that's
by
true.
laws and regulations rather than forcing their way through.
Exactly. That's not gonna work. Also, just an interesting tidbit here. So China has been trying to develop their own chip foundries and
Mm-hmm.
what's called a fab in the industry, so a fabricator.
Yeah.
But they China's internal production can only meet about 6% of their demand, right? So it's actually Taiwan who's doing the production and supplying the globe,
Are
like
they
supplying
using
the
their
globe,
own
right?
technology, or are they still using US technology
Taiwan.
to? No, that's like China. Are they using their own technology or?
No, they're using their own technology from
Okay,
so they're
because
trying to
this
come
is
up with
where
their
they
own
had
stuff.
issues, right? Like they were facing issues with like Huawei and all that stuff because they were not producing chips
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Yeah. So this article is saying that fridges, microwaves will be the next victims for the chip shortage.
Wow. Okay.
That's close.
I think we have time for like one other article, maybe one more.
Yeah, we have one more. I think we took about we are about at about 40 minutes now.
Okay. Maybe let's have look at about two articles.
Yep. So few more. I'm starting to sneeze now. I'm trying to control it.
Okay. Someone Someone's
Okay.
trying to remember. Okay, maybe then let's just stick to one article.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, no, Amazon. We talked about
Amazon
Amazon.
server, Amazon.
This we'll check this. Bikes to make.
Swappable. Oh, nice. Kawasaki to make swappable motorcycle batteries. So, I mean, like motorcycles are, I mean, they're also getting electrified, right? So, I
Yeah.
think,
If you want to check, I found like this account, Instagram account, a lot of years ago called Zero Motorcycles. It's a US company, I think. Just
yes, yes, yes.
they have amazing bikes.
There's some nice bikes. There's some nice bikes, man. And they have this like really futuristic sound when you like sort of accelerate and decelerate. Like the whole
Mm-hmm.
sounds like a spaceship, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And that sound is just amazing, man. It's like sounds like you're riding on a spaceship. So I mean, like it's so Honda probably has some advantage to the other guys because they've got like a hype whole EV thing going on as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they have battery tech from that division as well, so they can probably put that in. Um, but
Oh yeah.
wonder what the other players are doing, like with maybe the KTM's and the BMWs and all these guys, the Ducatis.
So what these guys are telling,
They're
like
probably
regarding the bikes, they have a few possibilities. Yeah, they might sell the bikes with or without batteries, assuming that we already have a battery from our previous bike.
Uh,
They're going the
right. They're going the Apple way.
yeah.
So you can I think in European countries
Oh
you buy the car and you can lease the battery as well, right?
yeah, and they're talking about battery swapping stations.
Oh, right. So yeah, I mean that would make sense, right? Because I mean, relatively, the battery for the bike would be much smaller than that for the car, right? So you could probably do it on your own. The
Exactly. Yeah.
guy can just check out a battery and plug it
Yes.
in or something.
So this reduces the
Oh, it's pretty
charging
cool.
time drastically. So it's just you go there, put in the
Yeah.
battery, and move on.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. But the only thing is, I mean, you wouldn't like there would be some people who would travel long distances in bikes,
Mm.
but not everyone would do that, right? So we will have to see how it's adopted if it ever technology comes into play.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay then.
Wow. Okay. So that was an interesting
Yeah,
session.
we can do this once in a while.
Yeah. Of course.
Sorry.
Hope
And
you don't have COVID, bro.
no. I think it's just my throat is dry. I need to drink some water. So
All right.
we can close this special Reddit episode here now. We will be coming back with a few more interesting topics in the next podcast as well. If you guys like our Reddit topics or these kind of discussions, you can let us know in the comments. We can do more of these things. And I think we should think about bringing on guests as well, Mike.
Definitely, we have a few guests that we can bring on. Let's see what they have to say. So we'll figure out some topics and bring those guys in.
Yeah,
So we have some few plans. So you guys will get to see what those are in
yeah,
the near future. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
yeah. Okay then. So we'll close the episode for today. And if you guys have any suggestions for us, you can put it in the comments and let us know. And this is it for today. We'll see you guys next week. Chandika, do you have anything?
No, all good. See you guys next week. Have
Okay
a
then.
safe and pleasant week.
Yeah, be safe and get ready for Urdu if you are in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, for sure.